2, 1.
What's up, Earpers? Today we're talking about episode 5 and 6. We have ghosts, we have witches, we got maybe friend zone going on. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, what's up? So happy to play the theme song. I'm like, yes, I dig it. It's a good theme song. Sorry for the late start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in getting the shows going, but we're here and we're so excited. Like I said, we're going to be talking about episode 5, Digging Up Bones, and episode 6, Constant Cravings. We are brand new to this show, so no spoilers, please, on the chat or the comments. And thank you so much for everybody who's been engaging with us on Twitter in the comments. We love it. And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. I'm joined by my awesome co-host.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. My name is Amber Plaster. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Amber Plaster.
All right, well, let's get right into it real quick. Episode 5, we got some trippy dream going on.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and to be honest, I thought I was almost thrown because they retain like really modern day language in it when she was like, dude, I totally killed the bad guys. And then like the rest of it's like almost period piece, ethereal, Western, dreamlike sequence. To me, all of episode 5 very much looked like a video game. Like it was very like fantastic. And when she stood up, you know, later on in the episode at Bobo's camp to kind of like shoot the gun, and then she was like bang bang, and then like it was like bad guy number 1, bad guy number 2, bad guy number 3. It was like just like the beginning of a video game. It was kind of cool because we, you know, as we found out, this show is based off a comic book, and we kind of got to see that in episode 5. It was very visual for me. Yeah.
Oh no, I agree. And guys, I went to go look at the comic, see if it was at my library, and it's not. But I'm going to continue to look for it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
I'll bring it to you.
Yeah.
If I find it. All right. With dolls, my note was objectification for the win. I love that we got to oogle the male body, and he's shirtless and he's working out. I was like, yes. I very much enjoy the There's some hesitation
opening.
there.
I am so much for equality that I'm like, no, don't objectify anyone. But I do like the refreshingness of the objectification of a beautiful man. But hopefully he enjoyed it too. Hopefully he didn't feel too objectified. Anyway,
hey, if you're something nice to look at, you should be proud. He worked hard for that body.
I was gonna say though, but we never know the way Dolls feels, right? We can't tell with him. So like he could be happy and we would have no idea.
This is very true.
So maybe that was my hesitation. I was like, who knows with him if he? Whereas like with Henry, he'd be like, yeah, girl, you like that?
He's all, you can look all you want.
Yes, you can.
And then we got Judge Kriggerman. It sounded like they said with a G, but I think it's a K. But and we were like, wait, what's up? Dolls is normal all of a sudden and suave and like bonding. And we're just like, what?
We did have a little bit of a step back this episode with Dolls. As you know, for the pilot, we were really confused as to kind of what was going on with his personality, and his approach with other humans was very unusual.
Stilted, awkward.
Yeah, awkward or sterile or calculated, just highly intelligent and strange. And we see him for the first time be charming. And I mean, really, I was charmed by him in this episode. Yeah. So
the judge was too.
Yes.
He was. He's like, oh, you hunt? Oh, we're besties. He immediately was like that.
I enjoyed that. I was kind of like hearing him kind of, shoot the crap with the judge and be like, yo, you like hunting? Well, I'll get you a thermos full of bourbon. And like they have this cute little moment where we see Wynonna go, what is happening? And like I was like, we're feeling the same way. Why is he suddenly talking normal and being like charming? And then she gets back at him, right?
Oh,
like right after.
You want the gum for get that judge ass taste out of your mouth?
Yep.
Oh, that was so good. That's a great line.
So good.
And I was like, oh, sex jokes abound. I loved it on both parties were making sexy time jokes, so I was happy about it.
Yeah, which was good. I just love that anything that we're like, isn't that, like a little bit much, Wynonna immediately says it.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that you think in the show, like, might be overlooked by the writers, Wynonna will be like, this is weird.
She's like, wait, hold up. I need to talk about this.
And we're like, yes.
And then so we have the trailer park search, and I like how you noticed how you reacted pleasantly to Waverly with her snacks while she's doing her stakeout, essentially.
Oh my gosh, did anybody else realize that like Waverly is being a sleuth, and at the same time she's like, but I have my trail mix.
Well, if you're gonna hang out for a while, you gotta come prepared. It was adorable. It was very cute.
Adorable. I didn't think that Waverly could get any more adorable, and yet she surprises me every episode.
We both got our Waverly hair going on right now with your yeah, guys, we both did the little bit up. It was unintentional. You hadn't seen the episode yet.
That's true.
And then I like how she's like, "You're going Wynonna." Like she drew out the word. I'm like, all right, that's good expression. Be hashtag going Wynonna.
I did. So we have people listening on the podcast as well as we have people in the chat for our live show on YouTube. And one of the people in the chat, Raina in the chat, said something that Wynonna said to dolls working out and looking all hot and steamy. Said, "I got your shirt, so put your coffee back on." I mean,
yes.
You know what I mean. I love that, and I love that like Wynonna said it really quickly too. Like she didn't linger on the joke. She was just like, "I wasn't looking at you. It's cool."
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Cute.
And someone in the chat also said hair porn again, which yes, still she has the most beautiful barrel curls going on all the time.
That person in the chat.
Our hair. Maybe they're talking about our hair.
Yes, it's Brittany, and she's the same person who
Thank
sent
you.
us these wonderful shirts that we got.
Yes.
I'm gonna show them.
Wait, hold it up.
Okay.
So those of you listening on iTunes, we have these awesome shirts. Wait, we'll tuck the tag in there. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It's
these are very cool. Yeah,
we'll
so
wear them for next week because we
literally just got these in the mail. They say Wynonna Earp's old number 7 Purgatory whiskey. Make your peace, and they are in they're black shirts with white logos on them, and they look like the old Tennessee Jack Daniels.
Oh yeah,
logo.
they look like that's a good way to describe it. Excellent job describing it for those who might just be listening.
And I can't even tell you guys how tickled I am by this because I opened it and I was like, this shirt is actually cute. So thank you. Like, I thought it was just going to be a logo shirt, but this is like, I will wear this.
They said yes, your hair. Awesome. Okay. We'll have to keep doing our hair amazing then because this show's just inspiring of that. And then we got going over to Dolls and Wynonna, their confrontation at the police station. And I really like that she emphasizes she's not a cop. So, of course, her procedure of how to do things is not going to gel with how he does things. And I don't get why he's like, well, why don't you see it my way? She's like, because I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
It's like, he's taking a while to get into it.
Or maybe, Dolls thinks that he should be in charge. And he's like, why aren't you, maybe it's not, why don't you feel the same way I am? Maybe it's really, why aren't you obeying me?
Yes, exactly.
Because he is in a position of authority, literally.
And then we find out that maybe the trailer park was tipped off, which at the end of the episode, I definitely think the judge did something. Judge is dirty.
I think the judge tipped Bobo off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why yet.
We don't know yet, but he's involved because he has the photo later. We're jumping ahead a little bit. But
let's not jump ahead.
Yeah. Okay, then we get a weird thing, which we both felt this, and we both were like, wait, yes, no, no, yes, but wait. Bobo and Waverly, we almost had a moment of shipping them together, and I'm like, this feels really dirty.
Let's back up. Let's explain
really
that moment.
Yes.
Because Bobo gets brought to the
he's in the
jail cell.
He's in the interrogation room. And Waverly is all brave and goes in there to talk to him by herself.
She's like, how did you know that I was looking for you?
Yes.
You were the only one, And she was being all fierce. And he's like, sit down. And she's like, fine, I'm not scared. And I was like, are we turned on right now?
It was kind of sexy.
I think we're turned on right now.
Yeah. Well, she's like, you're shorter than I remember. He's all, you're taller than I remember.
And I was like, no.
It's so dirty and so sexy at the same time.
Yeah, but for a full 60 seconds, we thought that they should be together, and then we were like, no.
No, it's kind of sexy where you're like, yes, and then you want to take a shower.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
And we're like angry, and then we're like, ship, ? Exclamation point. And then at first I was like, what? Bobo can hold the gun, but then you're like, nope, his hand was sizzling after. But he's stronger than the other demon who goes, ow, and dropped it immediately.
He's very strong.
Yes.
And I think
he can deal with pain better.
I think he's also very strong because he also had the ability to pull the gun.
Yes.
Kinetically into his hand. And I think he used a lot of energy for that, which is why we see him be exhausted at the end. But he literally went like this, and then it was burning, and he was like, I'm not going to show that I'm in pain. But they did show the sizzling, and I appreciate that. So he even puts his hand down at the end, and we see a close-up of his hand sizzling. He doesn't want to show her that he's in pain.
They even show his ear listening to the sizzle sound. And actually, I like that you brought that up because
they show his ear listening to the footsteps of the witch coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was both, maybe?
Because he can hear that helps on the way.
Yes.
That's why he's getting sassy.
Got it. I was gonna say that the way you described that links into later. It made me think of when she was fighting with Dolls doing the sparring, and she tried to do essentially use the Force, her Jedi mind trick just the Force, get the gun in her hand, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Remember? And lo and behold, Bobo can do it. So she's like, damn nabbit. Yeah. And then Lawyer, who we're like, yes, we think she's the witch.
We think she's the witch from episode 2, I believe, where we see
the pink car,
the light pink limousine, which we were like, who is that?
Yes.
We think it's that person, but we don't know if it's the same person as the pink limousine.
Yes, we don't know if it's the same person in the car, but we do know I'm pretty sure she's a witch, because what she does is not demon-like so far, and she's affecting the demons. Okay, would you call them demons? I mean, they are per other shows' definitions, maybe.
The Revenants?
Yeah.
The Revenants.
Yeah. Fine. It's a longer word. More syllables. No, but, so yeah, she has a couple names. We have Constance, Miss Stone, and Mrs. Cluden. So I was like, damn, she has a few names.
She does, and I think they were mentioned just like Hank Henry and Doc Holliday were mentioned on purpose. There's something to her. We're going to see more of her again.
Yes. And then we get the weird robbery hold up in the car, which we don't know about yet. Like, that happens, and then you're like, wait, what? But then that leads right into Henry jumping in and, like, helping, and we're like, wait, now you're helping them? He, like, gets in the car with Waverly, like, no big deal, like, oh, we're gonna go help your sister.
That was weird for me, too.
It was a little bit of an odd transition, but, I mean, it was just kind of like, I guess he's with the group.
I saw it as he saw Wynonna walking away from the station all pissed, and he's like, nah. And then he saw Waverly, and he's like, oh, it's serious. Okay,
yes, we're going. Yes. Yeah. And then we jump over we'll come back to the car thing, because there's another bit. We got the judge and Dolls, and the judge going like, ooh, chain of command, I'm going to go above you. But Dolls seemed nervous, but then I liked how you pointed out you felt that was semi-empty threat later. When the judge, I think it was in the second episode, was like, I'm going to call your superiors, and then you're like, meh.
I was reading into that scene maybe too much.
Okay.
But that scene with Dolls and the judge is like, well, I can tell your superiors about your behavior. And he's like, you got nothing. And then he shows him the note. And I was like, I still feel like the judge is not supposed to know anything about Dolls. And he's searching for information on him as to, like, why he's acting weird, why he's here, da-da-da. But he truly has no jurisdiction over a special FBI agent.
Oh, I don't think he does either.
So he's pretending like he does, and I think Dolls is just so messed up that he's kind of believing him.
Maybe.
But I don't think that judge has anything on him. I think he's totally bluffing.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, guys. But that's what I think.
And then back to our robber. They were calling him Fish, and then we later learn his name is Ambrose, and he supposedly has access to get a photo of the 7. So you're like, all right, you are useful. And then him and Henry being all bondy, I had a WTF moment. I'm like, what? That was a little weird.
I think it was there for comedy, because it was a very serious moment of him being like, we're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Oh, him? I know him. And then the girls are like, what? I think but it was kind of jarring.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then we learn, I like Wynonna's kind of trying to get his info, and then she's like, so your girlfriend, and then it's like, oh no, your boyfriend. Okay. Which I was like, cool, gay main guy character. Well, I mean, he's not a main character, but one of the
I really liked
group.
it.
Yes, I loved it.
I liked that. I was like, do we get a gay demon?
Oh yes, it was so exciting, and he's so pleasant and charming.
He was so, of course he was pleasant, but like, I mean, like, but it also, not only did we get our first gay demon, Revenant, but
is he our first male gay character?
I mean, yeah, if we think Champ is straight. I don't know. I still understand Champ. I don't get it.
Outside of Champ, he's our first openly gay male character.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think. And also, he's like charming
and he's normal.
Nice,
he's not normal. Like a creepy demon who's trying to cause havoc and
so we see
kill
our
her.
First like not like gross demon. Like he's just a normal dude who happens to be stuck with a curse. So that was a very different episode for me. And then later on, of course, we see the redhead girl who is also normal.
Yep.
And just stuck with a curse who happens to be a revenant.
Which I love the variety of that, because it's almost a little boring if all demons are evil and bad and the revenants are all bad.
And look like sloppy, drunk pirates.
Yeah. So it's like people, you know, there is variety. There can be a lot of a group that aren't great, but then it's like, wait, not all of them are the same thing. And then we have...
Oh, good point. It also shows Doc, or, Henry, being okay with Fish having a openly gay boyfriend.
Oh, yes.
Which is very accepting for somebody from the 1800s.
He seems very modern, though, but yes, it is. And I said I thought it was how romantic of how Fish was trying to get a hold of his lover who seems to have disappeared. And then we were like, oh, not all demons are bad. And we liked that Henry cared. Yeah, so exactly, that showed he's cool with it. And then at first I didn't catch his name, so I was like, the Shack dude. Vulture. That was him.
Yeah.
And
who we all thought was super dead.
Yeah. Well, the guy in the shack, he was a different guy.
Oh, right.
But when they went to the shack, that guy was super weird. But then we learned the guy who was over the border we thought was dead, Levi, is not, and he is very, unfortunately, still kind of alive.
Yeah.
Then we're jumping over. We got the police station. Yes, flirting for the win. Love that scene.
Oh my god. I wanted to, we didn't have time because we were short for time, but, I wanted to legit watch that scene, 3 times, because that scene where she's like, oh, I got boobs, we don't need dynamite. Yeah. And she's like, hey, boys. And they turn around, it's, 2 really butch women. And she's like,
I got this.
I can still do this. Lesbians, right? And they're like, no, girl. And then she was like,
better plan.
Henry?
It's calling the boys.
And I love that Henry was down.
Oh, he's unbuttoning his vest. Hello, ladies. I seem to be a bit lost. And you're like,
I loved it. I could have watched that scene for, forever.
It was so funny.
Such a treat. Oh, my goodness.
Who would say no to him? He'd be like, all right, cool. And both those ladies were like, hey. Yep. And then we get the Henry in confrontation with the witch. And so we do, jumping ahead, but in the idea that she is the reason he is how he is. So he didn't go to the devil or a demon to become eternal life. He went to a witch.
He did.
Which is very interesting.
Well,
we have a little bit of his past there because we
got
didn't
a little bit.
know details. And then got looking for Levi, and then that was a very sad goodbye. But I was happy that those lovers got to be together and go together.
It was sad, but at the same time, there's still demons, and also the other guy was in pain, and he's not going to get better.
End his suffering for sure. Yeah. But I like that it was addressing also Wynona's I don't want to just kill you, and it's like, you guys want this? Yes. Okay, good. And then the witch's bones and Uncle Bobo. I thought that was interesting. And apparently the witch is scared of Doc. I thought that was interesting. I want to know why she's scared.
No, that was instantly clear to me because she shows up.
Yeah.
And Doc sees her, and her body language changes completely, and she also immediately controls him with her hands.
Yes.
She hasn't done that with anybody else. She immediately goes, stop.
She kind of does with Bobo.
Yeah, because she's pissed off.
Yeah, makes him lick her heel, which was dirty sexy.
Which was dirty sexy, and also, aren't they siblings? Because she says uncle.
But I don't know if she was also saying that playfully.
I hope so.
It was weird. A little bit weird.
She acts like she's attracted to Bobo, but I'm like, are you related?
Yeah. And then kiss between Wynonna and Doc. And a little bit more than a kiss, but when it first happens, I was like, yes! I had a cheer moment, arms up in the air. I was like, yes.
I also have a theory that Doc was doing that to distract her.
I think you could be right, but I just wanted to enjoy it.
They were arguing.
Yep.
And my Catwoman theory prevails because she was like, you can't do that. No. And he was like, I'm going to kiss you right now. And you're like, oh, he's shutting her up. Yeah. And I'm super into it. But by the way, I think that was motivated from, he thinks she's hot, but also he wanted to get his way. And he did.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
But it was hot.
Layered scenes. I love it. I'm a big fan.
It's fine.
Great.
Yeah, him. We're like, okay. The photos, when they get the photos, trying to get the development, I loved her shirt in that scene. Loved it. I'm like, where can I buy that shirt?
Oh, her cute little rappy shirt?
No, not that one's really cute too. It was a tank top one with a cool picture on it. Oh. I'm into graphic tees. Those in the chat room, I go to graphic tee. I have lots. But anyway, and then we know that the judge has a photo of the 7. Dun dun dun. Because Dolls is like, I've seen that photo before, but
which we also see a mirror of that in the next episode. I've seen that photo before in the diner. Not to jump ahead, but I appreciate that writing, that attention to detail.
Yes. Then we jump into episode 6 with constant cravings. Fight training at the beginning, some sparring, and damn, Wynonna has some nice shoulders. She has a great body though too, but I liked her strong shoulders.
She's stunning, and I really enjoyed I could probably watch every episode open with her and Dolls out donutting each other and out working each other out and out sweating each other. I love it. I love the two of them together. He is growing on me.
Yes. I also liked it too because it was showing how she can maybe do okay in a hand-to-hand combat, like just a regular fist fight, but she is not trained, and so I'm happy that this is a moment where he's like, okay, we need to train you so you're not totally incapable, and she's going, hey, yeah, I'm going to be fighting a lot more than I would normally be, so I probably should be prepared.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because he had to teach her to train to shoot the gun, which, Peacemaker does help her.
Yeah.
But she's not actually a good gunslinger. She's not. And actually, can we say this, though? Henry should be helping her shoot.
He should. Well, he did the one day where he showed off.
That happen? But
Can
he
we
was
have
showing
that scene? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, also with the fight scene, I like that it showed her natural, her natural ability in it. Like she still, even though he was kind of kicking her ass at the beginning of it, she still wasn't like, I don't know what to do. Like her body understood movement. She had good kicks, good move. I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah.
Like a girl who
that
can
actress
fight.
has been training.
Yeah. So she did a good job of a person who is learning, who's not clueless.
Yeah.
Is where I was going.
Yeah.
And then we've suddenly jumped to winter where it's snow. That was a little weird.
It went to winter out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
And I was like, oh, we're like in a different city. We're in a different town now.
Yep.
No. It's still Purgatory. And apparently it snows in Purgatory.
Yes. And we got Doc and Bobo, and I joked the YMCA because those construction-looking guys and how their chaps were. And there was one guy standing next to Bobo where how his chaps were. I was like, YMCA. No?
Yep,
Anyway.
Yep.
But that was an interesting little confrontation there, which we also really liked Doc in his blue flannel.
We did.
Yes.
When he when he looked up and he was like,
Yeah.
and with his like blue eyes, we kind of looked like anybody else that would have looked so stupid, but we were like, yeah, we're into it.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm thinking of a later scene, but yes. I'm like, wait. He's wearing the blue flannel and different because when he walks up to Bobo, he's in the other outfit. But they're both in the snow and they're both in the same kind of location. But still, he looked gorgeous and Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then we got Waverly and Wynonna at the diner, and they're talking about the blacksmith. And when they walk up, I'm all, it's a woman. And I was happy it was. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I love that she's a Native American.
I love that she's a woman. I love that they refer to her as the blacksmith.
Yes.
And yeah, she's fantastic, and she is Native American, and she looks awesome. How rare is it to one, see a Native American on a TV show, and two, have them look nice? They usually just look ridiculous.
Yeah. No, she looks super cool, like totally Banff kind of lady, which I hope you guys know what that stands for.
Yeah.
I've said Banff before on other shows, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like,
Badass mother.
and then
F.
put the F word. But you know
Anyway.
what? Anyway. And then she can sense things. I like that because then on Dolls, she was like, I sense, there's a lot of pain, and you're just like, which she's totally spot on right.
She is spot on right. But I love that he was like, don't read me. You're not welcome here.
He's like, nope, stop it.
And yeah, I love that she not only later on in this episode helps Waverly with the bones that they find, but also like, do we have a good witch and a bad witch? Because I think I think the
I hope so.
The blacksmith is the good witch.
I think so
And
too.
I'm into it.
I like it. Yeah, because it's a world where there's like kind of a mix. There has to be kind of that balance. So it's refreshing to have like, oh no, and she's really cool. She's not just like meh or something. And then we get over to Waverly and Champ. Ew. Okay, so we talked about this. Oh, never mind. We'll come back to that. Hold on. Hold that thought. They get inheriting stuff, but him and her were really gross together. Henry. And Henry and Wynonna.
We don't really like Champ.
We don't like Champ. And this episode really bothered me with him because he was too...
He was
okay, we'll just
gross.
talk it. He was being touchy and she says, no, it's not okay. And I didn't like that at all.
I really, I mean, like I said to you, I really like the scene. I mean, I was like saying that, I was like, I've dated guys like that who are touchy-feely, grab you by the hips, and you're like, okay, can you just think for a second? They're like, oh, you're so cute. Let me just kiss your neck while you're training. You're like, no, like I need, like, please just let me do my job. And they're like, oh, how cute, ha ha. And until you get like really mean with them, they're like, oh, okay, fine. And like Champ was like that. It was just very immature. And I've just experienced like just a massive amount of guys like that. So you were like, oh, that's like non-consent. I'm like, no, they think that they're supposed to do that. Guys think they're supposed to initiate. And I really appreciated that scene being shown because it was shown so well in such a realistic way. And she was like, you know what, can you just not, like, I don't need this. And he was like, oh, I think it was so well done.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It's so
I think it
important.
did its job of making you uncomfortable, or at least some people uncomfortable, but then showcasing like her going, no, stop. That's not what I want. And you need to stop.
Yeah.
And then we got Henry and Wynonna, and I wanted them to just be honest with each other. And then he's like, never mind, I just want to talk to dolls. And you're like, you guys just be honest with each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, it should be like, well, let's say what we're honestly thinking. 1, 2, 3, go. But no, that didn't happen.
I liked it. I liked it because I think Henry likes to play games with everyone. And I like watching him play games. Even the fact when he's like, I want to talk to dolls. And then we see this really cool, I forget what it's called in camera work, reveal of Wynonna being like, Henry wants to talk to you. And he's like, not right now. And she's like,
yes.
but he's right
there.
here. And then Henry does this thing where he's like, Wynonna, would you mind telling him that it's urgent? And I was just like, again, he's playing games, right? He's just being like, I'm going to play with you. I'm going to play with you. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Like, he's going to have fun no matter where he goes. And I love it.
And yeah, he's so entertaining with that one. Yeah, I think it was, just how they lined up the shot, the frame, rack focus to him. Yeah. I liked it. It's good shot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we get dolls, and his supply is low of some sort of drugs.
Yeah. Dolls is having withdrawal. Dolls is having withdrawals.
Nice little tongue twister there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to say that word again because they keep messing me up. But they do, and I'm fascinated by dolls for the first time. What's going on with him? Like, we see at the end of the episode that he is working with some guy from a lab. He ran out of his drugs, which seem to be almost more like, not like insulin, but something that suppresses him from going crazy. Or
revealing his true self.
Maybe. But we do see at the very end of episode 6 that he has like yellow, almost werewolf-like eyes.
They are slit eyes, yeah.
And I mean, like, they look very animal-like to me,
absolutely.
not demon-like.
Or almost lizardy.
Almost lizardy, yeah. So anyway, animal.
An animal, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking mammal versus.
Yeah, something like that. And I was like,
some kind of creature.
I mean, I guess my guess would be on werewolf because he does have every personality of a werewolf.
Maybe that's why he's so.
Except for he's not a pack animal.
Shut out from everybody. You know?
Maybe.
That's why he so has to hold everything in because he's constantly trying to suppress whatever.
Yeah, because he's very like, must not get mad, must not get mad, must not show emotion. Maybe that's why.
He's kind of a jerk on this episode.
He is, but we understand why. He's in withdrawal.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time ever, we understand why Dolls does anything. Yes. So this episode was great for me.
Totally. And then we get over to the other one of the demons. It's one of the 7 with the mummified hand. And you're like, oh, wait, they're cannibals. Dun, dun, dun.
I enjoy that. I enjoyed making some of the Revenants cannibals.
That was interesting. Yeah, again, variety. It makes it entertaining.
It does.
Because, if they're all the same, it'd just be kind of boring.
And it works for me, right? They didn't make them demons and vampires. They made them demons who happen to make humans who happen to be humans. I was like, oh, I see what you did.
This is where the scene. So this is where we had Doc in the blue flannel. Because then we see Bethany. I think her name's Bethany. But she's not around long. It's the girl that he had a little encounter with at his trailer a little while ago. So I like that you called that she'd be back, and she's back briefly.
She did come back. I was like, that's a little guest star they could use to kind of mess up Doc. And then sure enough, there she was. But I was like, I don't think she's actually trouble. And turns out she wasn't trouble.
No. But
Poor girl.
they find out that the bodies that the witch lady are looking up, one, we know they're her kids, and then two, they've been spread out all over the county, which is interesting. I want to know why and who spread them out.
And if you're going to spread them out, why not just take them outside of the county? Why not
That'd be
spread
too
them like
easy.
to Mexico?
That'd be too easy.
Like, it almost seems
Yeah.
deliberate, right? Like, I'm going to
Yep.
keep them right here for my grandchildren to
Yeah.
dig up one day. It seems deliberate.
Yes.
I don't know.
Then we have Dolls and Wynonna, and I like that he's like, now he notices closeness because he's all boundaries, and we're like, whoa, now you are being weird about personal space.
Yeah, we both
Yeah.
had the exact same reaction to that. We were like, oh, look who understands personal space now. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's because his meds are wearing off and he's
Yes.
becoming more human or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And back to Bethany, and I wrote gonna die, and then yes, she did.
Yeah.
Poor girl. But I'm curious what's in that truck that killed her. I don't think we had any indication of anything.
I guess that's a good point, though, right? Because she lives with revenants, so why would a revenant eat her up?
And the question is, if that truck came from outside of Purgatory, is it not one of the regular revenants, or is it a completely another creature?
I think maybe it's a revenant, because at this point, the only non-revenant we've seen is the witch is who we don't think would go after this girl in a big truck, and whatever Dolls is, who we also don't think would go after her in this truck. It seems like the same monster that ate the guy at the very beginning of episode 5 when we see the snowfall for the first time.
Okay.
Which to me reads as a revenant. So maybe it's just like kind of like in the pilot how you see the revenants
maybe there's
be like
crazy
really
ones?
crazy
Yeah.
ones, because there's like really nice ones. Maybe we just haven't met the really crazy
Like they're the
revenants yet.
feral ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't cool enough to even be on Bobo's land because
Yes.
they're just like too crazy.
They're like, nope. And then we got Waverly is now the keeper of the bones, which was very cool. And she breaks up with Champ.
adorable.
Yes, I totally called it. Like, he's being all touchy on her. I'm like, why are you with him? Like, for a while, we've said, why are you with him? And then she's like, this isn't working. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I like that moment, and she did it really nicely too. I
Yeah,
thought.
she just kind of was like, this isn't working. Like,
Also,
nope.
I mean, I guess the one problem I had with that is he took that way too well.
He did.
Because if he's the kind of person to be all like, no, babe, like, no,
Maybe
like,
he just is in disbelief.
maybe, yeah.
So Curtis, her uncle, is the one who hid the head in the piano, which love that.
Yes.
Figuring it out. And when they're like mug, I was like face. And then she's like mirror. I'm like, yes, face. Well, it was a great moment of writing where you, the audience, thinks it and the character immediately gets to it. Like, either I want a show to be right behind my guess or right ahead of my guess.
Agreed.
Because if it's like 10 minutes later, you're like, why are they not there yet?
That's like a bad horror movie, right? Is when you're like, don't go in there. And you're just watching them for like 10 minutes until they figure out, and you're like, I'm irritated now.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, hashtag dump champ.
Dump champ. Yes.
I mean, he might be an adorable person, but
He's really good looking. But like just on the show, he's not. I mean, like he looks like Justin Bieber. But I mean, just for Waverly, I just can't.
yeah, no.
I can't.
And then we got Dolls and Wynonna, Mama and Diner Girl, and brother is Hermie. They called him Hermie. And loved the back and forth editing. We're saying loved a lot. See, we really are liking this show. I admired the editing of this sequence because it reminded me of Fifth Element, where there's two completely different characters and situations and they're having a conversation. And I was like, yes, because we're talking about this. This answers that question. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Oh, it's just so fun to watch. Because then
really well written and really well edited at the same time,
Yes.
which is very rare to have.
Yeah.
And I there was something with Hermie and what was her name? The sister,
the
redhead
sister is Hetty.
Hetty and Hermie, and their cannibalistic mother, who is also a revenant, and then the curse apparently happened to them too. Something that was really interesting that they didn't delve into that I feel like got cut from this episode, which like really fascinated me and could be a whole freaking episode on its own, was that they said that the mom was obsessed with Hermie because Hermie would like let her eat humans essentially, and was like a mama's boy. And so when Hermie died, she got angry and cut off, what's the girl's name? Sorry.
Hetty?
Hetty's hair, branded her like he had been branded and forced her to act like a little boy in her childhood. And she said, all I want to do is like wear flirty skirts and lip gloss. But my mom made me look like my brother. So there's a whole episode.
I didn't think that was because when he died. I just thought that was something she did.
But they've had several lives.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So, like, she's like,
that was weird.
This time
She's
when
like,
I came back, I just wanted to be a girl, and I just wanted everyone to leave me alone, and that's why she's, like, mean to her in the restaurant. She's like, shut up, Mom, you know, like, we thought that she was evil, but really, there could be a whole episode about this little girl being forced to dress like a little boy, her kind of twin brother looking thing, and that was, like, almost completely glossed over, but I feel like there was more that they just didn't have time for.
Maybe it did get edited down. Yeah, that was a very intriguing plot device in there that we were like, oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I was just looking at getting close to the end here. We got Waverly and Blacksmith. Yes, the bonding, and then I like that the Blacksmith's like, I never had known whose bones or something it was, but this one very specifically is Mrs. Stone. So she's like, I need to protect myself. Mrs. Stone's son need to protect myself, and that was like, uh-oh, dangerous.
Yeah, we haven't talked very much about Mrs. Stone, who's also, the witch. I mean, it hasn't officially been said, but she has witchy powers.
She has to be, because Doc was like, you, and we're going to go.
She could not be the witch.
Okay, she's a witch. She's a witch. Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to leave room for there to be other crazy witches in the story. I don't know. But, but yeah, I mean, I really like her. She's really short. And I noticed they have her in like these big,
she had giant heels.
Giant heels on.
Yes.
Like, I was like, let her just be short. Let her be short up against Bobo. I think that would be even more visually interesting. Let her be little.
Yeah, like Chihuahua, who like commands presence, but they're teeny tiny.
Yes.
And then this is also when Mama bites Dolls, and she says she's spoiled.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. So there's something not normal with him. I had a moment. I'm like, so is he dead? And then I wrote, okay, well, not human.
You called dead first, and I was like, but
like the serum's keeping him alive in a way, but he's just not human, I think. Yeah.
Very interesting. So he's clearly unhuman.
Yeah.
Because she likes eating human.
Yeah, and she didn't want to eat him at all. And can we all comment real quick on how awesome was Hero landing? Just made me think of Spider-Man. Like, wait, Hero landing.
It was cool.
It was very good.
I also really appreciate her looking at him and be like, holy crap, she took the door with her. I was like, that was the appropriate reaction.
Because that's what you would say. You're like, wait, what? And we have Wynonna and Doc she friend zoned him a bit. But as you were saying, kind of a good plan. She kind of needs to do her own thing and not be distracted by him. But she did say, for now.
She did. I mean, he came back and she's like, she inherited this beautiful motorcycle, and he's like, oh, you want to have a good time with this motorcycle? I was like, yes, have sex on top of the motorcycle. I don't know how it's possible, but Wynonna Earp would find a way. Let's do it. And then she's like, you know what? I don't need this in my life right now. I just got back into town.
Ride solo.
Yeah, I'm going to ride solo for now. And I was like, you know what? She is too smart to be in a relationship right now. Good for her, girl. Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
I liked it, even though clearly they're not done.
Oh, no. Not at all. It's one of those like, no.
They'll keep toying with each other and playing with each other, and I'm into it.
And the last kind of thing is we have Doc do his drug deal, we get Dolls gets his drug deal, Doc shows up, they have a kind of bit of a standoff, and then Dolls does his little drug insert, and we see his crazy eyes, which we kind of talked about. But so you're in werewolf. Yeah.
I guess werewolf would be my guess in terms of like there being demons, witches, and whatnot. But I don't know.
Oh my. No, wait, that's a 3, right?
Demon, witches, and whatnot. Oh my.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know what he is, or maybe he's some other like monster, something that we don't even know, like they've made up for this world.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of covered predictions a little bit as we went, but any other final thoughts?
I think that's it. I'm really, really interested to see what's going to happen to Dolls.
Yes.
I couldn't be happier with these 2 episodes. I mean,
super good.
I mean, yeah. I really liked seeing the good witch and the bad witch.
Yes.
And I liked seeing a little bit more of Bobo. And I liked Waverly's snacks.
Yes. And one of the things, too, with the show, I like how at the beginning it starts almost a little on the cheesy side, and now it really has that depth to it. So, and then it still is cheesy, but in a very purposeful way that you're like, this is just fun.
That's what I keep telling people about the show. I'm like, the show's a little bit shiny and cheesy, but in a fun way.
Yes.
Like if you can,
they know they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, if you can get down with like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you can get down with the show. You know, it's just fun. I don't know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right, that kind of does it for us this week, guys. We kind of did our predictions of what we think's going up while we were going, because that's another part of the show, and we're out of time. So join us next week. We'll be talking about episodes 7 and 8. But first, where can they find you online and any other after shows or things people can watch you on?
Yeah, actually, I host a gaming show called The Rookie on my YouTube channel. You can find me at youtube.com/AmberPlaster22, and we are gaming through Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider on the PS4 right now. And I'm also on an AfterBuzz show called This Is Us on Tuesdays. What about you?
Sweet. Yes, you guys can find me online at Kari D. Lane, and I forgot it last time. I'm like, how did I forget? Sundays, I have Van Helsing and Westworld, so if you like this Western theme, continue over onto that one. On Mondays, I have Timeless and Box Office Breakdown, where we look at what movies, how they did over the weekend. And starting next week, I think I'll be joining, we'll be starting up Salem. So speaking of witches, thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, thumbs up on the video, comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and no spoilers, please. And continue reaching out to us on Twitter and talking about, we love interacting with you, and we really appreciate it. And we're happy to be part of the fellow Earpers group, I guess? Yes. Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.